Right. I've been promising during this Kickstarter that I'm going to actually do a gameplay demo and show you how the rules work. So here it is with the Guildford show, and I thought I would just play this one out and just play a turn or two and show you how the game works. So the first thing we've got this poor little engineer who's been wandering out on his own, and he's wanting to get home. Sadly, an army of militia have come out and helped to find him, drag him home. But in the meantime, we've had the Divanu who turned up, and they are hungry. So the objective of this particular scenario is to get this little guy through the door, and these guys are eat the engineer, and then get off the board again. So the game itself works on an initiative basis. So in the game you get 6 of each colour stone. So these are the new initiative stones, and one of the things from the Kickstarter is I've been able to do these in resin. And you have 6 in white, 6 in black, and 2 special combat stones. So I'm playing the black as the Empire, white as the Divanu, and these are the combat stones. So these will go into a bag. You then shake them up, and at the start of a turn you draw 1 stone out. White. That means the Divanu get to go first.
Yep.
Here's the Divanu. So, the Divanu are very fast, and they can get pretty much anywhere. You've got the Semper here. I'm using a Copa model just for confusion, and 3 Grishak. In your turn, you can activate 1 model once this is drawn, and that can be, you could activate, for example, 1 Grishak, or you can activate a Semper, for example, who can then activate several other models. So she can activate Grishak, you can activate other Grishak, so the whole lot can move in one go. So the Semper can move 10 inches, so she can pretty much get anywhere on the board that she wants to. So, in this situation, actually, she's going to wait, see what everybody does, and then have another go. So she's going to pass and not move. Black. Now the Empire moves. First things first, get the Knights into position. This guy is going to charge in and try to take out a Grishak. All the movement happens in one go, and you later on, the combat happens when a combat stone is drawn, except for some special actions. These guys move down here, they can move 10 inches each. Now I can get to move the rest of the Empire forces up. These guys can move 6 inches each. Right, so we've got a captain and 5 militia.
Then explain how you activated them all.
Activations. Probably should cut, yeah. The way activations work is you'll choose 1 model to activate. I'll have to do that here.
What? Just doesn't matter.
You choose 1 model to activate, which would be, for example, the captain. So he can then activate a certain number of models that are within his command range. So his command range is 6 inches, and he can activate up to 8 models. So he activated, and then activate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, who are all within 6 inches of him. So then they could all, once you've activated them all, they all then get to move. Right, so at that point, the Empire's finished moving, but we still carry on going. Now, it's time for the Divanu to do something. She can activate up to 2 beasts within 12 inches. They're all comfortably there, so she can activate them, and each Grishak can then activate up to 1 other Grishak, so the Semper on her own can activate an entire pack of Grishak. Now they're all going to activate, and now I can move them individually. The thing about Grishak is they're very good at charging, so they can basically move up to, they're very fast, they can move up to 12 inches, so they can charge straight in and pick somebody to attack. Normally you'd have to wait for the combat phase, but they have a special ability called charge, which means they can fight immediately. So now for a combat phase, we've got a willing volunteer hopefully. So what we get is we have these, which are combat stones. There are 2 types. You've got the spiky ones for attack, and you've got the sort of straight ones for defense. You'll get to roll a certain number of stones depending on the abilities of on the stats of your character. Grishak normally only get 2 stones, so they're very average. Militia also gets to roll 2 stones. The nice thing about Grishak is when they charge, they roll 2 extra stones. So I can now choose 4 stones, and you get to choose 2. You can choose to either be really aggressive and try and take him out with you, or you can be defensive and try not to die. So the selection of stones is one of the key tactics of the game. You're wanting to try and choose the right number of, choose whether to be aggressive, whether to be defensive, and you choose secretly so your opponent doesn't see. I'm going to choose very secretly, and I'm going to go for a mix of attack and defense in a very overly cautious fashion. Put them into a thing, and you both do this at the same time, take them up, and cast them. Alright. The Empire guys roll 1 attack, I've rolled 1 defense, so those cancel out, and that leaves me 2 attacks. So for rolling defense or rolling for your armor saves, you roll 2 dice, 1 for each hit, and you need to roll a 5 or more on both dice, otherwise he's dead. Lucky guy survives. There's a very smug expression you can't see on the other end of the camera here. So, now I get to move the next model. This little guy is incapable of charging because he's engaged in combat, but he's a bit scared of this big knight, so he's going to run away in a cowardly fashion. This one is going to run up through here. You can actually move over your own models, and he's going to engage this knight. It's a bit of a more dangerous attack. So, the knights roll 3 stones, and they have some nice recasting abilities, so you can choose whether you want to try and what sort of ability you want. And again, I get to roll some, choose my stones. So once we've both selected our stones, we cast them at the same time. I put it in Grishak in space. Alright, so he's got 1 defense, my Grishak has got 2 attacks. So at the moment, that's going to get cancelled by that one, so I'm going to get 1 attack through. But, now this is the special thing the knights get to do. He can immediately recast up to 2 stones of your choice, which oddly enough would be the fails. So you cast them again. Keep that one. That's much better. So now he's got 2 defense, which cancels out my 2 attacks, and he gets an attack through. So that's definitely turned the tide. My poor little Grishak now has to roll a defense. Grishak also roll a 4+ to save. Alright, we're all being lucky on saves so far, and he's also survived. Right, finally, this is the Semper. She's quite, she's a real beast in combat. She gets to roll an awful lot. She rolls 5 combat stones. She's got 4 stamina, which she can use for various abilities. We've not described those yet, so now's a good time to do it. So, her standard movement is only 8 inches, so a bit slower than Grishak can move 12. What she can do, she can run around here, you can move over your own model, so she comes over here. She can then use an ability called Sprint. It costs 1 stamina, and she gets to move an extra 6 inches. So she jumps in, which is 5 inches, sorry. She jumps into there, and now, since she's in combat, she's got a second ability that she can use, which is Assassinate. Spend 1 more stamina, which is much like the Grishak attack, but she's got to pay stamina for it. Stamina is a very precious resource. You get 1 back each turn. So if you burn it all, then she's very weak. But while she's stamina, she's an absolute beast in combat. So she's going to attack this guy. She gets her 5 stones, he gets his 3.
Stuff that's in casting at the moment, just coming back.
Alright, so we both cast stones at the same time again. Oh, okay. So, the knight has rolled 1 attack and 1 defense. My Semper's rolled 2 attacks, 2 defense. At the moment, comfortably blocks his attack, and it's got 2 extra blows going in there. So now it's you can now recast your stone as before.
Just the one.
Just the one. You cast 2, but they've already succeeded. No luck there. So he's now out of luck. He's got 2 attacks. I could use some abilities to make him recast stones, recast them in mine, but to be honest, I'm quite happy where it is. So now you make 2 saves on a 4+. Right, every single time you fail.
1 save.
Pardon?
1 save.
1 save. But sadly that's not enough, because as soon as you take a wound, you're dead. So he's just been eaten. That's a good start for the Divani. If I wanted to, with her now, I could now move again, even attack again. But I'm going to cut my losses, cut things there, and say, right, I'm happy for this turn. I think that's everything. Yep, so that's the turnover. Next. So we could continue drawing stones, but both go, actually we're done, call it a day, and skip to the next, so we can skip through these very quickly. That one.
A lot of beasts are.
I think there are some red ones in here.
We have these guys,
they're red
and unbridled.
Currently not very good colour distinction between them. But the red one means that we immediately fight a combat. Everybody who's engaged in combat will now fight. The initiative is whoever drew the stone last. So you've got the initiative, and that means you can choose any combat you want to do. So you choose one combat, then I'll choose combat, and we'll basically go until everybody's
saw half an episode.
Face to face, engage. So, do you want to, it makes no difference this time apart from. So, whereas previously my Grishak really had the advantage, now you've just got Grishak rolls 2 stones, and the militia casts 2 stones. Nothing else is really special about it.
I can see the links because we've got
I'm going for defensive this time to try and survive.
trader characters and that sort of thing.
Right. Well, now he's choosing his stones. I probably shouldn't have shown that quite so obviously. And here we go. 1 attack from militia, 1 defense, no special abilities to use, he's fine. This one here, he's now going to attack him. I'm in a bit of a precarious position here because he's got a lot more stones to roll than I have. Or 1 more, but he's got his abilities.
I wasn't aware that it was taken from a book. The quality of the programme.
Okay, there we go. You've got 3 stones, and I've just got 2.
Yeah.